Ignacio, Katipunero, Sugod, todo sa kayod, tulong at tulong. Lipat na Blue Eagle, galing giting nagigil. Blue and white, one big fight. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan.
The voice of the Blue Eagle, radyo-katipunan 87.9.
Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. The voice of the Blue Eagle, kami di mapipigil sa pagbabalitang tumpak at tama. Buhay atin sa labas ng eskwela, ating ibibida lahat ng eskwela. Radyo, radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, 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 Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Radyo, Katipunan. Kawal ni Ignacio, Katipunero, Sugod, todo sa kayod, tulong at tulong. Lipat na Blue Eagle, galing giting at tigil.
Who we are and what we hope to become. Kuwentuhang Bayan is our safe space where we can honestly talk with each other about the realities we are facing in our communities and country. Share our stories, identify the problem, and possibly work out a solution. Through simple conversations, we endeavor to capture the different voices of Filipinos, forming our country's narrative and echoing our aspirations for our nation. The Kuwentuhan starts with guided contemplation, a short and prayerful activity that will guide us into a disposition that is conducive for proper personal reflection. We reflectively acknowledge our concerns and disturbances, and hopes and desires for our family, community, and country. Through the visioning activity, we articulate our personal and communal visions and aspirations for our communities. These visions and aspirations reflect our ideals and values and may serve as criteria to evaluate our reality. The National Situationer invites us to reflect and evaluate our current situation, identify the challenges, and discern opportunities for collaborative action. We share our stories of our community and our country, the present realities, concerns, and issues. Lastly, we examine these realities using the lens of Catholic social teaching. The guided problem analysis shall provide us with a replicable tool that we can use to identify actionable barriers and hindrances to the shared aspiration of our community. Here we identify certain levels of the root causes of the issues that we are currently experiencing. The action planning aims to open opportunities and share possible avenues for engagement towards empowerment of engaged citizens. Here, we realize that each person can contribute to achieving our collective aspirations for the community. The final module brings us to gather what we have learned and to appreciate the greater awareness and engagement we have nurtured through Kuwentuhang Bayan. We are invited to commit to the possible solutions we have identified and cultivate accountability in addressing the many issues, concerns, and problems of the community and the country. The Kuwentuhang Bayan Manual also comes with detailed and easy-to-follow instructions to assist the facilitators in both online and face-to-face Kuwentuhang Bayan runs. As engaged citizens, we believe and we are hopeful that a better society is possible, and we can start this meaningful process through Kuwentuhang Bayan. This program is led by Simbahang Lingkod ng Bayan,
the socio-political apostolate of the Society of Jesus in the Philippines. We are a faith-based non-profit organization with the mission of promoting social justice and genuine democracy in the country.
Palalimin ang kamalayan sa mga isyong napapanahon. Makisangkot at makiisa kasama ang Simbahang Lingkod ng Bayan, ang socio-political apostolate ng Kapisanan ni Jesus. Ito ang Kuwentuhang Bayan mula alas 11 ng umaga tuwing Biyernes dito lang sa radyo-katipunan 87.9 FM. Dahil naniniwala kami na posible ang isang mas mabuting lipunan at maaari itong simulan sa isang kwentuhan.
Okay, magandang umaga po sa ating lahat. Welcome to another Friday episode of Kuwentuhang Bayan dito sa radyo-katipunan.
Marahay na aga, maupay nga aga. Magandang umaga sa mga katipunero at katipunera, mga ka-vote love at sa ating online viewers na sumusubaybay sa atin ngayong umaga at linggo-linggo.
Ako po si Gracious Romero, isa sa mga volunteers ng Simbahang Lingkod ng Bayan, at kasama ko po ngayon si Mel Gaboy, galing naman sa Catholic Educational Association of the Philippines o CEAP. Welcome to our episode 13, Kuwentuhang Halalan for Region 5 and Region 8. Good morning, Mel!
Good morning, Miss Gracious. Ayan, humihingi po tayo ng pasensya sa ating mga live viewers po, no? At nagkaroon po tayo ng technical difficulties. Ayan, so bago ang lahat, tanungin natin, Miss Gracious, ang ating mga kasama ngayon sa online na mga nanonood kung kamusta po sila. Ayan, comment down below kung kamusta po kayo ngayong umaga.
Yan. Sa mga hindi po nakakaalam, ang SLT at CEAP ay nagsama para mabuo itong programa para mapag-usapan ng mga importanteng issue ng ating bansa.
Importante nga ito, Miss Gracious, no? Mas lalo na sa isang konteksto kung saan personality lamang ang pinag-uusapan sa ating media. Pero sabi nga ng aming Deputy Executive Director, Miss Gracious, no, na si Miss Mary Ann, when moderating, it should always be less of us and more of them. So, ano pang hinihintay natin? Ipakilala na natin ang ating guests for today.
Yan, tama ka, Nel. So, ngayong umaga may kasama tayong 4 na guests at sila ay magbabahagi tungkol sa mga issues sa Region 5 and Region 8. So, ikwento din nila kung bakit kailangan mapag-usapan itong mga issue na to sa darating na eleksyon.
Tama yun, Miss Gracious, no? At ngayon din ay April Fool's Day sa lahat, pero ngayong umaga hindi tayo maglolokohan dahil ang usapang ito ay seryoso sapagkat bayan at kinabukasan nating mga kabataan ang nakataya rito. So ano pang hinihintay natin? Mula sa CEAP Region 5, kasama po natin si Sir Gerald A. Bermas, Basic Education Faculty Member sa Universidad de Santa Isabel. Ayan.
Ayan. Hello, good morning. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat.
Good morning po. At of course, kasama niya po si Ms. Daniel N. Filio, 4th year BS Psychology student sa Ateneo de Naga University.
Hello po. Good morning, everyone. Thank you po for having me.
Good morning. Para naman po sa Region 8 o Eastern Visayas, kasama po natin si Sir Cedric P. Dinampo mula sa St. Francis College, Grade 11 Humanities and Social Science Advisor.
Good morning po sa lahat ng ating tagapanood at sa lahat ng nanonood dito sa Allen, Northern Samar.
And of course, kasama niya po si Sir Charles Daryl A. Delmo, Collegiate Supreme Student Council President sa Christ the King College. Ayan, hello po.
Hello, good morning everyone. Thank you for having me.
Yan. So ngayon po magpapakilala naman ng ating mga guests. So maaari tayo magsimula kay Sir Gerald Bermas. So Sir, papakwento po kami sa inyo tungkol sa inyong sarili, sa inyong pamilya at sa komunidad, sa eskwelahan, lalo na po sa ngayong panahon ng pandemya.
Okay. Thank you so much po, Ma'am Gracious. So once again, good morning to all our viewers and to all our listeners for this morning. So I'm Mr. Gerald Abermas. I'm a teacher at Universidad de Santa Isabel, Naga City. So I know it's like famous at the moment because this is the school where VP Lenny graduated both in elementary and in high school. Okay, so just a little background about myself. I also graduated at Universidad de Santa Isabel in college, and I grew up in a far-flung area. That's why I actually had a lot of things to share with regards to a lot of educational problems that we've been experiencing because I've experienced those things firsthand. And I came from a big family as well. You know, I have 9 siblings, and right now I'm just happy that lahat na kami malalaki. Yun. So a lot of happy and fun memories growing up. And I think those are one of the reasons why I chose to become a teacher, because I've seen firsthand what is really happening on the ground. And I could really tell that this is a calling. Being a teacher is a calling for me. And that's why I am here. And hopefully later on with the discussions that we will be having, I would be able to share a lot with regards to my personal experiences, with all my observations in the academe, and of course, my personal experiences now as a teacher. So yeah, it's nice seeing all of you here, and hopefully we will be having a very good conversation.
Thank you so much po, Sir Gerald. So now, puntahan po natin si Sir Charles Delmo.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Charles Dalmo, currently the CSSC President of Rice Digging College. So I am from Talbayog City, Samar. And a short background of our family. Ako po yung panganay sa aming tatlong magkakapatid. And I'm currently living with my parents. My father is Alvin Delmo and my mother is Myla. So my mother is a teacher. And me and my younger sister is both in college na. Then our youngest is still in elementary. So I've been engaged in different community activities that tackles different mga issues regarding children. So I just want to grab this opportunity to give thanks to the organizers of this event, because this is a great opportunity for us, the young people, to have a voice on what really is happening in our region. So thank you so much.
Thank you so much po, Sir Charles. Kamusta naman po kayo, Sir Cedri? Ayan.
Good morning po sa lahat. I am Mr. Cedri Dinampo dito sa Allen, Northern Samar. Currently teaching English and Christian Living Education. Originally from Cebu, pero 3 years na po ako nagtuturo dito sa Allen. At ngayon, nasa kasagsagan kami ng preparation para sa limited face-to-face classes. Yun na po.
Oh, thank you so much, Sir Cedri. Next naman po, si Miss Daniel.
Thank you po. Good morning, everyone, especially po sa viewers po natin. Ako po pala si Daniel Anfilio, isa pong 4th year BS Psychology student ng Ateneo de Naga University. Konting background rin po, ako po ay although nag-aaral po ako sa Ateneo, taga-Iriga po ako, the hometown of one of the senatorial balls or the candidates for senators, si Laila de Lima. I am from Iriga City, and ako rin po, background rin po ng family. Ako po ang bunso sa 6 na magkakapatid, and both of my parents are health workers. Although my father po is a retired nurse, my mother is currently teaching as a clinical instructor in the University of Northeastern Philippines sa Iriga rin po. I would just really like to thank everyone, especially po sa organizers ng radio program na ito, for having me. This is a great opportunity for us to voice out po kung ano nga po yung mga experiences, most especially po during this pandemic in relation to education. So yun, thank you so much po.
Thank you so much po, Miss Grace. Nakaano po ata kayo, nakamute.
Okay, yan. Okay na. Yan. So, thank you so much po, Miss Daniel. So, now, let's start na po the discussion. So, ano po yung mga common na education issues na kasalukuyang hinaharap ng inyong mga schools sa region? Let's start with Sir Gerald.
Okay, thank you so much. So yung nakita natin, no, yung sa tanong pa lang, makikita natin na it would really demand someone who could really observe a lot of things na nangyayari sa ating mga different schools, sa Bicol region. And sa amin sa Universidad de Santa Isabel, of course, this is a Catholic university. So halos wala tayong masyado makikita ng mga problems when it comes to na nangyayari din outside, diba? Pero yung observation ko kasi as a reading teacher, so yung pinaka-problem talaga ng Bicol region, and meron tayong data about it, yung PISA result actually, na ang baba ng reading comprehension ng mga bata ngayon, no? And meron ding mga pumapasok sa elementary na hindi pa rin nakakapagbasa. So maraming na-accept din even in high school na hindi pa rin nakakapagbasa. And those are backed up with a lot of results and assessments already being conducted. And yun, I think, yung pinaka-urgent concern na kailangan nating i-address. And I think that is not only true to Bicol region, but in other regions as well in the Philippines, considering na if we're going to take a look at the data presented by a lot of assessment and even a lot of assessments na ginagawa na ngayon, okay? And I'm just so happy as well na merong program naman yung DepEd, diba? Yung Department of Education in terms of how to address the problems on reading comprehension ng mga bata, no? Meron tayong tinatawag ngayon na Brigada Pagbasa, and hopefully ang tinitingnan lang natin dito is probably it will also be assessed, and yung impact nung ginagawang Brigada Pagbasa ngayon na program ng DepEd is kung ano ba yung naging klaseng impact noon sa mga batang nagkakaroon talaga ng reading comprehension problem. So I think apart from that one, kung masusolusyonan natin yon, apart from yung mga buildings for example na hindi naman natin masyadong na-experience ngayon dahil pandemic, nagkaroon tayo ng modular learning lang. So I think kailangan din pating i-assess kasi syempre nung face-to-face nagkaroon na tayo ng mga maraming problems in terms of reading comprehension ng mga bata, what more, diba, na hindi natin natutukan, walang masyadong interaction with the teachers, lalo na sa DepEd, no, or sa mga public institutions. So yun yung kailangan nating tingnan ulit so that we will be having a comprehensive program on how we will be able to combat this particular kind of problem, which is really, really important. Lalo na ngayon na nakikita natin sa social media, a lot, actually, I think it would stem from that one. Yung misinformation and disinformation na nangyayari will always come from the inability of people to understand what they are reading and what they are looking at, diba? Particularly data. So if people would not be able to understand what they are actually looking at, lalo na yung data, numbers, for example. So it would stem from their inability to comprehend what they are reading. So I think if we will be able to solve this kind of issue, mas magiging progressive tayo as Filipinos. So I think yun yung nakikita kong pinaka-problem namin dito.
Thank you so much, Sir Gerald. So, Sir Charles naman po kaya.
So in general, we're in a Catholic college po. So parang hindi masyadong maraming problems pagdating sa school namin. Pero if i-base ko po in region, in the whole, parang there's, especially sa mga public school kasi, there is an increase of number of out-of-school youth. Then, increasing na siya before pa yung pandemic. But naging another factor kasi yung pandemic para mag-increase lalo yung out-of-school youth for different reasons. So some of the reasons na bakit maraming or nag-i-increase yung out-of-school youth, one is because of there are a lot of children or students na pinipiling mag-stop to study just to aid or to help their family members na about sa financial needs. Then other reasons is that their parents are not able to or has no capacity of sending their children to colleges. Then there are some naman talaga na tumigil lang talaga sa pag-aaral kasi parang they don't feel like studying. Then pagdating naman sa mga Catholic colleges or schools, nakita ko na parang nagiging training ground siya for teachers na pag-train ako dito sa school na to, then after, if I gain experience, lilipat na ako to public schools. Parang yung nangyayari kasi training ground yung mga Catholic colleges. Then pagdating naman during pandemic, nagkaroon ng conception na same lang tayong lahat nasa bahay. So parang what's the use daw if nasa Catholic institution ako, nasa public ako. So there is also an increasing number of students that transfer from private school, Catholic school, to the public one. So in this way, parang naapektuhan rin yung Catholic practices sa schools kasi there are numbers of students na lumilipat. Then another issue in our region is that there are a lot of students complaining about their mental health kasi pandemic. So siguro yung mga leaders natin should create ways or solutions for this problem kasi it is very timely and relevant during pandemic. Although we are now gradually opening classes in different schools, but what is the long-term solution for this problem? Kasi as a student, we're also looking for the long-term, not only the short-term one. So the problems first is the increasing number of out-of-school youth in public schools, and the transfer of students from private to public, and the mental health of the students. So in our region, thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Charles. Yan. Punta naman po tayo kay Sir Cedric.
Magandang umaga po, or good afternoon na ba? Sa Northern Samar, specifically sa St. Francis College, Allen, of course, bilang isang private institution, lahat naman siguro ng private school nakaka-experience nito na nag-decrease talaga yung enrollment. Maybe ito ay result ng pandemic, no? Na marami ang nawalan ng trabaho, yung kita nabawasan. And another thing is kagaya nga ng sinabi kanina ni Sir Nakwan, mental health problems. Kasi kadalasan ito yung hindi binibigyan ng pansin. Whether maybe sa school binibigyan niya ng pansin, pero ngayon na distance modular learning, mas lalo itong dapat bigyang pansin kasi ang mga karamihan ng mga parents hindi naman naniniwala sa mga mental health problems na akala nila nag-iingat lang ito, ganoon. Pero totoo ito ay totoong problema, ito ay educational problem ng ating mga mag-aaral kasi paano sila makapag-focus if they are not mentally ready, if they are not emotionally ready. So dito sa St. Francis College, ang ginawa namin, gumawa kami ng paraan upang i-address ito. So bago kami mag-implement ng mga limited face-to-face classes, meron muna kami tinatawag na psychosocial activities na kung saan bibigyan namin ng intervention itong problema na ito, itong mental health problems ng mga bata, ano ba yung pinagdadaanan nila sa isang modular setup. At dahil doon marami kami na-discover, no? First and foremost, siguro sa mga teacher, makaka-relate nito, no? Magtataka tayo, bakit alas 12 ng gabi sila nagpapasa ng mga projects o mga video presentation? Bakit alas 2 ng madaling araw? Yun pala ang reason dyan is because of the very slow internet connection. Especially dito sa Northern Samar, na maraming lugar na hanggang ngayon wala pa talagang internet connection. And I am just happy na nung bumisita si VIII Lenny dito, siya mismo na-experience yun na may maraming lugar na walang signal. So sana ito din ay isang gawin din natin itong hindi lang educational issue but of course an election issue na talagang dapat improve ang ating internet connection, mga facilities, at dapat bigyan ng focus ang mental health problems ng mga bata. Salamat po.
Thank you so much, Sir Cedric. So yun, nakita natin magkaparehas ng issues ni Sir Charles sa kay Sir Cedric. So Miss Daniel, kayo naman po.
Actually po, nag-resonate po ako sa lahat ng mga na-mention na issues po. Even though we are from Region 5, kami ni Sir Gerald, we are experiencing the same po na there is the lack of internet access, most especially po sa mga areas na hindi po tala off the grid. Meron rin po tayong na-experience ko po, tapos nakikita ko po, most especially sa social media, na nagsa-struggle po talaga yung karamihan ng students po, most especially dito sa Region 5, na yung availability po ng gadgets sa kanila. Since lahat nga po nag-shift na po sa online learning, nahihirapan po sila kasi minsan po, there are software updates po na medyo hindi na po akma sa gadget na ginagamit po nila. Kaya po, napipilitan po talaga sila na kailangan bumili ng bago. So yun po, struggle po yun, most especially nga po na marami pong nasa survival mode kumbaga po ngayong pandemic. Tapos yun po. Another problem po or another issue po na very recent lang po na na-experience po namin is since we are now gradually shifting back po from online learning to face-to-face, I think a lot of people are still unaware of how things will operate. Tapos po, there are a lot of varying sentiments rin po regarding this transition. There are people po na parang they are still unsure if it is really safe for their children to go back to school. Kasi nga po, even though may sinasabi na po even though po nag-alert level 1 in some areas po dito sa Bicol, nandun pa rin po yung anxiety na binibigay po ng COVID-19. Also po, there are other sentiments naman po na parang natutuwa po sila kasi yun nga po, hindi po, na-experience po talaga nila yung cons or yung disadvantages ng online learning. Kaya minsan po hindi po talaga siya effective kasi nga po iba po talaga yung environment kapag online lang. Hindi po talaga na-absorb ng mga students yung dapat nilang matutunan. Kaya po, I would agree with Sir Cedri na mental health is really an issue na ini-experience po ng mga students ngayon. Kasi po, they are struggling with how they are coping with online learning. Tapos po, bigla pong babalik ulit sa face-to-face with the anxiety of COVID still lurking. So, yun po yung mga yun po yung mga issues po na very urgent po na kailangan na ma-address po today. So, yun.
Po, no? Talagang mahirap din yung adjustment kasi from online tapos ngayon face-to-face na naman. Diba? Yeah. So, ngayon, ano naman po kaya yung mga policies na inyong nakikita sa local, regional, and national level para sa mga leaders natin sa this coming election na kailangan nilang i-address? Muna natin kay Sir Gerald.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma'am Gracious. I think before I would give my comment on the policies na kailangan nating tutukan, I think I would also like to add on the discussion with regards to yung pag-shift natin from modular learning to face-to-face. Kasi syempre as a teacher, I would just like to assure our students na parang on behalf of the teachers, we're also continuously doing a lot of meetings para gradually talaga ma-shift natin and masigurado natin na smooth yung transition ng mga bata from hindi sila nagkikita-kita hanggang sa nagkikita-kita na ulit sila. Siyempre yung parang masashock yung mga bata natin. So, halimbawa katulad dito sa amin, before we will be doing that one, kailangan talaga tingnan yung lahat ng angulo, kung saan sila, halimbawa ano yung mga interventions yung kailangan gawin kapag merong bata na nagkaroon ng problema, etc. So, hindi talaga siya agad-agad bubuksan din para sa lahat ng mga estudyante. So, I hope that we will be having this kind of concept that before we will be doing that one is magkakaroon din talaga a lot of studies na ginagawa, and with regards to the mental health, for example, of the students, halimbawa dito sa amin sa Universidad de Santa Isabel, lalo na sa basic education department namin, meron na kaming ginagawa dito na guidance classes. So before pa nung pandemic, alam talaga natin na meron ng demand ngayon ng social emotional learning. So sa social emotional learning, kailangan makaka-relate din sa psychology. So kailangan talaga tinututukan na siya even before nung pandemic pa, lalo na ngayon na na-intensify. Good thing we also have some modalities para ma-integrate din yung social emotional learning ng mga bata, kagaya ng mga guidance classes. So importante talaga na magkaroon tayo ng mga mental health curriculum na available para sa mga bata and well fit dun din sa konteksto ng mga bata ngayon. Kasi kung lahat halos nag-i-express na yung problema natin is more on mental health, on kung paano mag-balance na yung mga bata ng mga demands nila sa bahay, demands sa school, at demands din ng sarili. Diba? Kasi ang hirap-hirap na i-balance mo yun lahat-lahat. So I guess what's good about mga Catholic institutions din, halimbawa yung sa school din namin, so we consider a lot of things kagaya nito, para at least smooth yung transition ng mga bagay-bagay. So yun, gusto ko lang i-pick up naman dun sa mga policies na kailangan i-address para at least magkaroon tayo ng better education para sa lahat ng mga tao. So unang-una, kailangan contextualized yung mga policies per region na hindi lang siya nakasentro base sa pangangailangan ng lahat, parang ganon. But I wanted it to be more decentralized. Like halimbawa sa Region 5, Region 8, may kanya-kanya tayong mga needs. Diba? Halimbawa dito sa amin sa Region 5, tingnan natin yung konteksto na Bicol region is an agricultural region, for example. So kung mga ganong klase ng mga needs, so kailangan yung mga policies on education, lalo na pag nagsi-senior high and college, kailangan i-equip natin yung mga bata towards these kinds of available jobs na nasa market, or even creating jobs for them, diba? Na parang, kung gusto mo mag-business, yung target natin is more on dito. So kailangan na naka-decentralize din yung mga policies na yon para contextualize din according sa needs ng region. Kaya siguro nagfe-fail and maraming underemployment, for example, because hindi natin nakikita yung mga industries lang na available dito sa education. I mean, this is a very big issue, big scope, pero ito yung kailangan nating matutunan, makikita muna. No? Tingnan yung situation ng region and ano ba yung mga kailangan dito ng mga jobs na kailangan i-create and kailangan i-boost, and i-anchor din yung mga educational practices and educational policies towards these available industries, for example, di ba? Para lahat ng mga graduate, halimbawa, magkakaroon talaga ng mga job. Lahat ng mga i-open ng mga businesses, for example, will really target the needs of the people here sa region natin, di ba? So maraming studies na din actually na kung titingnan natin na available. Halimbawa, merong inilabas na data yung political economy analysis sa Bicol region ginawa ng Ateneo Social Science Research Center. So pwede natin siyang tingnan, 'di ba? And take a look at the recommendations na binibigay din ng mga researches na ginagawa natin. So lahat is kailangan policy-based din talaga and research-based, yung lahat ng mga policies na ibibigay natin and ibababa natin per region. So yun. And siguro intensify din mga policies that would really allow all the stakeholders to work together, 'di ba? Yung partnership ng mga industries and ng mga schools. Kasi 'di ba, ang daming mga schools na ngayon. And titingnan natin, are the schools meeting the demands of the Fifth Industrial Revolution, 'di ba? Kasi nasa Fifth Industrial Revolution na tayo and agad-agad. And we have to take a look at yung mga schools ba ngayon equipped na, diba, to meet the demands din ng Fifth Industrial Revolution. So, mga ganong klaseng bagay. So, I think, yung gusto ko din siguro i-link yung sinabi kanina na ni Charles kanina na maraming mga teacher daw parang ina-assume natin na training ground lang yung college, mga private institutions. And sad naman yung parang ganun yung klase ng connotation natin na training ground lang yung mga Catholic education institutions, where in fact halos lahat ng mga galing ng mga teachers would really start from mga Catholic institutions, di ba? Halos lahat ng mga gagaling. That's why you would see the students that they're also producing. So ang gagaling din ng mga napoproduce ng mga estudyante. Pero I think it would be kulang ng support ng government. 'Di ba? Kaya tayo umaalis, 'di ba? So kung ganun yung problem na even mga estudyante kagaya ni Charles, nakikita na 'yon na parang bakit kaya umaalis sila ma'am, 'di ba? Parang last year nandito pa to. This year wala na sila, nandun na sila sa public, nagsialisan na dito sa atin. So I think parang wag naman nating patayin, 'di ba? Yung mga private institutions. So kailangang i-subsidize ng government, i-subsidize. Kasi we have to admit it, 'di ba? Kailangan yung mga private institutions, lalo ng mga Catholic education institutions ng ating government to ensure that there will really be a quality of education na ma-deliver sa lahat ng Filipinos. And para hindi tayo alisin, syempre we have to admit that hindi naman kayang saluhin lahat ng mga private institutions, 'di ba? Lalo ng pasweldo, benefits, etc. Hindi na halos natin kaya makipag-compete kasi alam mo ngayon, titingnan natin yung teacher 100, ilan na yung sahod nila. So I think there should also be policies na kailangang i-safeguard din yung sweldo ng mga private institutions na ay mga teachers sa private institutions. Kung kailangan i-incentivize, kung kailangan nating magbigay ng other benefits for us, then ibigay naman sana yung nararapat sa mga teachers sa private institutions. So yun, para at least hindi tayo, magsilipatan lang and gawing training ground nga lang na kagaya ng sinasabi ni Charles. So kaya importante na yung may elect natin mga leaders nga is nakikita din ito. 'Di ba? Na hindi titingnan yung mga private institutions as parang competitors ng mga public educations, 'di ba? Kasi ang nangyayari, parang tinitingnan natin as kakompetensya yan, parang gano'n. So maraming ganong klase ng mentality. So I hope hindi na natin yung titingnan na parang we're competing against each other. Parang ganun. But we are here to provide quality education talaga sa lahat ng mga Filipinos, 'di ba? So kung kayang i-cater ng mga hindi na kayang i-cater kasi ang dami na sa public school, 'di ba? So, i-incentivize na papasukin dito sa mga private institutions. Parang mga ganung klase ng partnerships na gusto nating mangyari between the government organizations and ng mga public and ng mga private institutions. So yun.
Ayan, maraming salamat po Sir Gerald, no. Pakinggan naman natin siguro yung input ni Sir Cedri about this po, no, kasi para nasagot na lahat, no, na point out na ni Sir Gerald lahat. So baka meron pa po kayo idadagdag, Sir Cedri.
Yes, as what you have said na point out ni Sir Gerald lahat, siguro dadagdagan ko lang doon sa decentralization. Kasi for example, dito sa Northern Samar, agriculture naman talaga ang pangunahin dito. At I would like also to share to everyone na dito sa St. Francis College Allen, meron kaming tinatawag na SFC Integrated Eco Farm Classroom. So ito ay isang farm, more than 5 hectares, na kung saan yung aming principal mismo, si Father Alan Jose Arcebuchi, OFM, at si Father Priscillo A. Salomon, OFM, si Father Siloy, sila mismo yung nangunguna doon sa pagtatanim ng palay, sa pagtatanim ng kahit anong gulay. Ang punto ko dito is that the government should support this kind of initiative. Especially na ang kailangan ng marami sa ating mga regions dito na kailangan i-improve yung agriculture sector. At ito rin ay makakatulong sa mga learners sa kanilang life skills, no? Na we should not only focus on the blue collar jobs, but also kailangan din ang mga life skills kasi itong mga to, our farmers, our fishermen, sila yung nagpo-provide ng pagkain sa atin sa bawat araw. Thank you.
Thank you so much po, Sir Cedri. No? Siguro, in relation to this po, tanangin naman natin kung ano ba yung initial thoughts regarding sa 2022 elections, no? Na ngayon papalapit na, ano ba yung nararamdaman natin at ano pa ba yung pwede nating idagdag na mapag-usapan at magkaroon ng diskurso sa nalalapit na eleksyon? Siguro unahin natin si Miss Daniel. Ayan.
Thank you po, Ma'am Nel. Actually po, with regards to the 2022 elections, I'm very nervous but very hopeful naman po. And hopefully, optimistic po tayo na mailak po talaga natin yung mga deserving and very qualified na mga leaders for the job. Since we are spending most of our time online, we can see directly the effects of social media and how it affects the elections. Meron very parang aware na po tayo na nagkakaroon na nga po ng misinformation and disinformation na nangyayari, and yun po talaga yung nakakakaba na part kasi po marami po talagang mga tao na naniniwala pa rin po sa sa mga lumalaganap na misinformation and disinformation. Kaya po I just really want this to be addressed, and I'm really happy po na there are initiatives, most especially po for example dito po sa Ateneo de Naga University, there are activities especially po sa Office of Student Affairs na reinforce po talaga yung pag-fact check and also to discern kung ano nga po yung fiction sa facts. Kasi yun po talaga yung nagiging concern po natin, and it really has affected us and kung sino yung mga na-elect po natin, most especially last elections, 2016 elections and 2019 elections. Kaya yun po talaga yung sentiments ko with regards to the 2022 elections.
Maraming salamat po. Narinig natin yung boses ng isa sa mga kabataan na nandito. Pakinggan naman natin si Sir Charles kung ano pa yung maidadagdag niya regarding this po.
So, with regards sa 2022 election, I am very happy na nakikita ko how engaged the young people sa mga activities na ginaganap during this preparation for the upcoming election. Yung fact lang na parang very rampant kasi talaga yung misinformation kasi it's parang anywhere you go, kahit anong platform ng social media, meron talagang misinformation. It's just that na kailangan talagang ma-filter out kung ano talaga yung totoo sa hindi totoo. So there should be parang maturuan ang bawat isa, yung bawat mga kabataan na alamin talaga kung ano yung totoo sa hindi. Kasi to be honest, if nakakakita ko ng fake news na post, parang there's no difference between what is right and what is not. Kasi parang same talaga. Parang kung gaano kagaling yung mga nagpo-post ng mga factual informations, ganun rin kapalaban sa pagpo-post yung mga yung mga fake news spreaders. Kaya parang kailangan talaga ng thorough assessment kung totoo ba o hindi yung isang information. Then just my encouragement for the young people, let us all practice our right to vote. Kasi let's practice it starting sa school kasi meron namang mga elections na ginaganap sa school. If we're engaged sa mga school level na mga election, if alam natin paano bumoto ng tama sa school, we can apply it in our community. Then piliin lang talaga natin kung sino yung hindi sa deserving, pero kung sino yung qualified. Kasi anyone can be deserving in a specific position, but not everyone is qualified to sit in that position. So parang piliin natin yung qualified, piliin natin yung bata naman yung papakinggan ng mga leaders. Kasi we are the one who knows ano talagang tunay na nangyayari sa mga kabataan. So if our leader knows how to listen to the children, they can address properly what the problems that is happening in our community para sa mga kabataan. So I'm not saying na neglect other like mga PWD senior citizens, but let us choose also the leader that who can listen and address the concerns of the children or the young people in our community. Yun lang.
Thank you so much po, Sir Charles and Miss Daniel. No? Narinig natin ang tinig ng kabataan sa kung ano ba ang dapat piliin or kung paano ba pipiliin ang susunod na mamamahala sa ating bansa. Pakinggan naman po natin, Miss Gracious, yung inputs po ng mga sa perspektibo ng isang guro. Ayan. Unahin po natin Sir Cedric.
Yes, for me, this coming election, marami tayong realizations, thoughts. So sa akin, ultimately, as an educator, ito ay magiging assessment. No? Paano ba yung education, education sector natin, paano ba niya nagagampanan, or shall we say, gaano ba kalalim ang problem na bakit ang mga fake news, ang mga misinformation ay namamayagpag. So, saan ba ito magsisimula? Dito ba sa grade school? Dito ba sa high school? Dito ba sa senior high school? So, ito ay ultimately an assessment. Kagaya nga ng nabanggit ni Sir Gerald kanina, marami ng studies ang PESA, na in 2018, nag-release na sila, in 2019, na ang Philippines ay one of the very low in terms of reading comprehension. So ano ang ginawa ng government? May interventions ba na ginawa dito? Paano na yung mga learners na yun? By the way, this study was it was released in 2018, 2019. So most probably itong mga learners na to, mga registered voters dito ngayon. At sadly, maybe lang karamihan sa kanila, sila yung nag-share ng mga information sa TikTok, sa mga YouTube na more on memes without really facts. Ito ay magiging assessment at hopefully after this election, the education sector will gather and mag-meeting kung saan ba tayo magsimula, ano ba ang problem, bakit mas namamayagpag ang mga disinformation kaysa sa mga facts, ano ba ang dapat gawin. So, yun siguro para sa akin.
Thank you so much, Sir Cedric. And of course, pakinggan naman natin ang perspektibo ni Sir Gerald about this po.
Okay, thank you so much. Ang ganda din na makita na yung mga young people natin, kagaya ni Daniel at ni Charles, are already aware of the misinformation that is actually happening, diba, sa social media. And syempre, sa akin naman, personally, parang sobra kasing nakakatakot, no? Na a lot of politicians right now, since nakita nila yung impact and kung paano i-weaponize yung Facebook and other social media platforms towards attaining their goal, lalo na nung 2016 na parang, naging effective kasi we were able to elect this one, etc. because of the disinformation nga and misinformation na ginawa natin. So ang daming deception na nangyari. So parang ang pangit and nakakatakot na nagiging culture na siya dito sa Philippines na parang nandidiri na yung mga tao sa facts and yung kaya na lang nilang kainin is yung mga kung ano lang yung kaya nilang i-take. And yun yung sobrang nakakabahala. Lalo na sa atin as mga teachers, di ba? Kasi if we are also aware that the consumers of the memes, of the TikTok videos are young people. So meaning to say, nasa education sector din, yung burden to ensure that young people will be critical and will be very discerning in terms of how to really look into the various information that they're actually encountering online and sa mga social media, no? So ang grabe yung burden sa atin. So good thing pag titingnan naman natin yung curriculum natin, no? Lalo ng K-12 curriculum, for example, meron na tayong mga media information literacy. So kung titingnan natin, nandito na yung safeguard. Unti-unti na din tayong tinitingnan to. So meron na tayong mga safety mechanisms kung paano natin to gagawin. It's just that to combat this one, I think we have to really intensify the campaign, lalo na sa mga schools, and really train siguro our teachers kung paano talaga to best engage dito na hindi naman tayo malilabel na parang nagva-violate ng code of ethics, 'di ba, etc. Kasi yun yung parang nagsa-stop sa atin from engaging into a lot of political posts kasi marami pa ding teachers yung takot, 'di ba, na itama yung mga maling information. So, ako din personally, I'm appealing to teachers, if you know and solid yung backup nyo ng mga facts na nakikita nyo and mali yung nakikita nyo na sa Facebook. Kasi if ever na nakikita mo yun sa wall mo, yung algorithm ng Facebook, so meaning to say, nakikita din yun, malaki yung possibility na pwede yung makita ng mga teacher, ng mga co-teachers mo, ng mga estudyante mo din na nagfa-follow sa'yo kahit hindi mo sila in-add friend, diba? So ganun yung algorithm ng Facebook. So therefore, immediately pa lang sa mga teachers, pag nakita natin maling information, i-report agad natin, diba? Para hindi na siya lumala pa and marami pang ma-deceive ng mga young people right now, no? So gusto ko din, kung nakikita natin tong problem na to, hopefully yung mga uupo is ipipinalize na talaga nila yung mga taong nagpapakalat ng mga fake news, 'di ba? Ang kailangan natin dito batas na, 'di ba? Hindi na to basta-basta lang a question of integrity and a question of character. But what we need right now is a solid law that would really prevent people. Yun naman yung purpose ng batas, malimit yung exercise mo kapag nung right mo kapag nakaka-harm ka na ng ibang tao. And this is it. You're already harming actually a lot of people by deceiving them. So I think we really need a strong law na hindi lang yung cyber law natin. Kailangan talaga tong i-expound na not just sa libel, for example, 'di ba? So kung maraming kailangang busisiin yung mga mambabatas natin ngayon para lang ma-correct and at least ma-prevent yung pag-crumble ng ating democracy. Kasi yung democracy, 'di ba, naka-rely lang siya doon mismo sa information na nakukuha ng mga tao and how people would interact with one another. So, if yung parang North Star ng mga tao is mali, how are we going to decide? 'Di ba? So wala tayong intelligent public opinion kasi nga mali na yung mga nakukuha ng mga tao. So I think this is more of a battle of everyone. A lot of educational institutions, the teachers, the student leaders na mga nandito, no? So kailangan, good thing if meron na kayong mga programs na to address these kinds of things and must i-inform and i-educate pa yung mga estudyante natin. Pero we have to also go on the ground, 'di ba? Kailangan din nating makita yung kung ano nangyayari talaga sa baba. And kapag nakita na natin yon, I think mas makaka-create tayo ng comprehensive programs kung paano talaga natin to masusolusyonan yung very urgent and very pressing concern. Kasi grabe, 'di ba? Parang nabubuhay na tayo sa kasinungalingan and a lot of deceptions. So it's really a crisis for all of us.
Thank you so much, Sir Gerald. Siguro maraming salamat po, no, sa pagiging boses ng inyong mga rehiyon at mga institusyon. Ukol sa mga polisiya at issue na dapat pagtuunan ng pansin. Siguro ask na rin po natin yung mga, hikayatin na rin po natin yung mga live viewers natin mag-comment down sa comment section para sa mga issue na sa tingin nila dapat pagtuunan ng pansin at upang marinig ng ating mga tatakbo ngayong eleksyon. Ayan. Miss Gracious, baka may gusto kang sabihin.
Yan. Kanina naka-raise ng hand si Miss Daniel. Meron po ba kayo idadagdag? Sinabi ni Sir Gerald.
This is just to add lang po from the sentiments shared by Sir Gerald. I think I do agree po na it needs the cooperation of all the stakeholders. And yun nga po, since we're going to assess po na ang misinformation nga po will be addressed sa school, since most of the students who are really consuming social media are the youth, we also need to look at the other side of the coin or the other part of the age spectrum. Meron po kasi tayong mga victims na hindi naman po sa pagiging ageist, pero po meron po tayong mga victims of misinformation who are from the elders or the elderly sectors. Kasi nga po since the reality is hindi pa po masyadong nabigyan ng, they are not digital natives, but they really are doing their best to really understand how to navigate their way sa ating digital world. They still need a lot of guidance. And since yun nga po, this is also a call for fellow students na since may mga alam na po tayo because we really are taught in school on how to handle media and information, we need to help our family members who are being victims of misinformation. Kaya po kailangan po talaga ng cooperation with that. So I really commend Sir Gerald for that and the rest of the guests, Sir Charles and Sir Saji, for being open about this this topic po.
Thank you so much po, Ms. Daniel. Ngayon pupuntahan naman natin yung mga qualities na kailangan sa isang leader. Kanina po may nabanggit na si Sir Charles. Maaari po kayong dagdagan natin si Sir Cedric.
Yes, qualities of being a leader. So number one talaga yung track record, no? Kasi ngayong election, ang daming nagki-claim na ito yung nagawa nila, ito yung mga nagawa namin. Pero ano yung track record mo? Nung pandemic, saan ka? Nandyan ka ba sa ground? Kasi ngayon ang daming nagki-claim ang daming pangako. Pero nung pandemic, saan kayo? Bakit ngayon na kayo lumabas? So yun ang pinakauna, yung track record. Second, of course, sana yung malinis, no? Hindi yung convicted, di ba? Kasi, di ba? Paano mo ilalagay sa pwesto ang isang convicted person na nahatulan na ng court, no less than the Supreme Court. So dapat walang bahid ng korupsyon, malinis at may track record. Sa akin yung dalawa talaga ang pinaka-importante. Siguro sa iba may iba pa.
Sino pa po gusto magdagdag sa sinabi ni Sir Cedric sa Sir Charles kanina? Meron pa po ba?
Ay, ma'am. Yun. So yun, sana yung i-elect din natin, no? Yung hindi nakakalimutan yung value ng education, diba? Na hindi lang titingnan yung mga kindergarten schools natin bilang mga babysitters yung mga kindergarten teachers natin. Pero titingnan natin yung kahalagahan nung bawat like elementary schools, junior high schools, and colleges natin. Kasi pag hindi vina-value yung education, and even sa sarili niya, diba? Hindi niya yun vina-value, how can we have an assurance, diba, na bibigyan niya ding pansin yung education sector natin? So ito, appeal din to sa mga fellow teachers natin. So I hope we will always be discerning na kung ikaw, educator, take a look at yourself, ito ba yung klaseng services na gusto mo lang? Hanggang dito lang ba talaga yung gusto mo? But if you wanted to aspire for more, then look for someone who understands our concerns. Diba? And hindi natin yung makukuha sa hindi naman nag-value ng education. So we have to look for the candidate who really values education. So yun lang po.
Ang ganda po na sinabi ni Sir Gerald, no? Yan, si Sir Charles naman po ulit.
Ano po, so currently I am a third year nursing student. So ano lang po, to the all medical practitioners or the students in the medical field na able nang makapag-vote. Siguro, this is now the time na magkaboses tayo na yung piliin nating susunod na magiging leaders are those leaders na may pakialam sa healthcare system ng ating bansa. We have witnessed kung how weak, to be honest, how weak our health system dito sa atin. Tapos nakita rin natin kung ano yung impact ng mga health crisis. Hindi lang apektado lahat kasi kapag naapektuhan yung health ng isang country, apektado lahat, even the economy, kasi there will be no people who will work for the country. So this is the time siguro na piliin natin yung leader na may pakialam sa health. Hindi lang i-upgrade yung health system, but also those benefit na karapat-dapat talaga para sa mga medical health workers, kasi kita naman natin na high risk yung work ng nasa medical field, pero yung benefits too low. Parang kaya siguro isang problem rin natin kasi we are a top producing country ng mga nurses ng ibang health workers, pero nasan sila ngayon, nag-a-abroad. Siguro we can hindi naman prevent, but we can minimize those health workers na going abroad if there's proper compensation for them. If may tama talagang pasahod, may tamang benefits for them. Kaya let us use our hands as our voices to choose the leader na may pakialam sa healthcare system and sa healthcare workers. Yun lang po.
So thank you so much, Sir Charles. Ms. Daniel.
Thank you po, Ma'am Gracious. Ako naman po, the qualities that I'm looking for in leaders this coming elections po. Unang-una po talaga integrity, who can really stand for his or her values up until the very end and really parang transfers this and applies this to reality or yung mga ginagawa niya in his or her daily life. Tapos po, a second would be values human rights. Dito po talaga, it's a very abstract concept, but this abstract concept really has a big impact on our society. Kasi po dito na po pumapasok yung concern nung leader na yon sa ating mental health, sa ating health. Nandito na po yung mental health and yung, the current pandemic. Also, valuing human rights, nandito na rin po yung education. Kasi nga po, education really is powerful. It can be used to combat misinformation. It can be used to make leaders and to actually give or advocate for a better society. Also po, another quality would be empathic. Very important po yan. Yung naiintindihan niya po talaga kung ano yung pinagdadaanan po ng mga constituents niya at hindi po siya masyadong detached. Yung pumupunta po talaga sa grassroots level para po malaman kung ano yung problema, ano po yung mga karanasan nila. And lastly po, listens to experts and credible studies. We need a leader who values science as well. And also, when we value science, nandiyan na rin po, it goes hand in hand with all of our values, our principles. Kasi po, since our studies, everything that we learn from school, it is guided by our values na tinuturo po, most especially po sa mga Catholic schools. Kaya yun po yung mga qualities na hinahanap ko po for the next leader.
Ayan, maraming salamat po, Ms. Daniel. Siguro po, narinig na natin yung mga different characteristics na hinahanap natin sa mga tatakbo or sa mga mananalo na kandidato, no? So, siguro bilang pangwakas po, ano naman po yung mahihingi natin or ano po yung invitation na gusto nating ibigay sa mga manonood dahil tapos na po yung part natin, ano po yung challenge na maibibigay natin sa mga nanonood sa atin ngayon? Siguro po umpisahan naman natin kay Sir Gerald.
Okay, thank you so much for that, Nell. Okay, so yung pinaka-challenge ko din talaga, and I always tell my students about this one, go out of your comfort zones and talk to people. You know, if our main enemy right now is yung mga fake news, then we have to combat it when we have to make a stand, diba? Report kung kailangang i-report kasi meron namang mechanism yung mga social media platforms na ganito. And sunod naman is influence yung mga tao na, you know, meron pa din talagang mga beliefs about politicians, for example, and even politics na hindi naman na talaga nag-a-apply ngayon. Okay, so it's really more of a collective action. That is what we needed right now. And we have to really ensure na klarado yung tinitingnan natin as a good leader. So kung sa tingin natin, like yung sinusuportahan ng family member natin is hindi yon talaga best candidate, and you think you know based on facts, based on the track record of the candidate na hindi yun maganda ang candidate, then you have to really fight for your stand. Diba? Hindi na yun uso yung respect your choices lang talaga. Because the choices of these people will always affect the kind of future that we will have. So, laban talaga natin to. Okay? So, sana hindi tayo matakot na kapag sinabihan tayo ng respect my opinion, I'll respect yours. Diba? Pero kung alam natin na nasa tama tayo, that we're siding the truth and we're siding based on facts and based on track record nung sinusuportahan natin, then we really have to do our best para maipanalo yung candidate na sa tingin natin ay makakatulong para sa ating bayan and para sa ating future. Diba? And yung magiging apekto naman nito yung mga kabataan natin ngayon. And hopefully, diba, pag wala talagang mga plataforma, walang konkretong plano kung ano yung gagawin, lalo na sa edukasyon, lalo na sa mga teachers, sa mga estudyante, sa mental health ng mga estudyante, diba, kung paano mas may improve yung IT infrastructures, for example, ng mga educational institutions, wag natin silang botohan. Diba? Botohan natin yung merong konkretong plano para sa ating lahat. So yun lang.
Thank you so much, Sir Gerald. Yan, si Sir Cedric naman po, nag-invitation sa school. Saan po may efforts po ang CEAP sa inyong region? You can also mention it po.
Yes, ma'am. No, itong ginagawa natin, part na ito ng efforts ng CEAP at nagpapasalamat tayo sa mga ganitong discussions, which is ito talaga yung need ngayon. Kasi, di ba, sa labas, bangayan, etc. So what we need is a discussion, no? Intellectual discussion, academic discussion, para mas matuto pa tayo. And for the teacher siguro, balik-balikan natin kung bakit ba tayo naging teacher, di ba? Because we want to be catalyst of change. This is a vocation. So panindigan natin yan at we help the students. I know na napakaraming problems sa education, pero let's take it one at a time, no? And for the students, for the learners, be keepers of truth. Kasi bakit ba tayo nag-aaral, di ba? Upang matuto. So ngayon, pag natuto na tayo, bakit hindi natin pakikinggan ang mga facts, di ba? So be keepers of truth, and remember na itong election na to ay hindi lang to about personalities, kasi after ng election wala na no? Balik na tayo sa ating normal life. So let us be reminded na itong election na to is for our future, for your future, lalo na sa mga first-time voters, para ito sa kinabukasan nyo. So choose wisely. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sir Cedric. And si Sir Charles naman yun.
Yung challenge ko lang po para sa lahat ng nanonood, especially to the young people, let us all be an advocate. Kasi let us all be an advocate of the right information. So if ever your friend, your family, or your loved ones in general, nakikita mo nag-spread ng misinformation, don't be afraid to correct them. Let us all be advocate of the change. Kasi hindi pa rin ako, naniniwala pa rin ako sa kasabihan na yung kabataan yung pag-asa ng bayan. So let us all just train, get engaged, get involved. And the guidance of the teacher will help us a lot to be an advocate. So if magiging advocate tayo, if we aim for the good future, let us all engage. Kasi nasa atin ang kinabukasan. So tayo yung gagawa ng way paano magiging maganda yung kinabukasan. So this coming election, let us all be an advocate of what is right. And yun nga yung sinabi ko kanina, kahit gusto kong ulit-ulitin na sabihin na practice talaga yung right to vote. Practice your right to vote. Kasi your vote matters a lot. Your vote will save one's life. Your vote will save one's future. Kaya let us be an advocate and let us all practice our right to vote.
Thank you so much, Sir Charles. And lastly, Ms. Daniel.
Ang challenge ko na lang po and call for everyone, most especially, hindi lang po sa students, but to all stakeholders and to all citizens of this country, debate critically. I think, yun nga po, sabi ni Sir Cedric, there is a need for you to engage and to be part of the discussion. Listen to other perspectives po and engage with them, guided with facts. Not conspiracy theories, not myths, not legends, but facts. Pag nandyan naman po talaga yung facts, we are in the right place naman. And also, stop the bobotante narrative. You know, spewing people and calling them names. We don't want to exemplify ad hominem, yung parang inaatake na po natin yung personal, but we have to be very critical kung saan po talaga yung debate or kung ano po talaga yung debate about. So also discern and guide yourselves, especially kung more educated or hindi naman sa more educated, pero if you know more and you experience and you are wiser at some point, you have to discern and guide other people to discern as well on choosing the right leader. And also, if you want to really change, or if we really want to have change or initiate change, it really starts with ourselves. And starting by that change with ourselves, we can do that by voting and exercising our right to vote. So yun po. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much po sa lahat ng ating narinig na mga pananaw. So, Miss Gracious, no, narinig natin ang iba't ibang issue sa larangan ng edukasyon. May nagsabi na ang kadalasan na encounter nila ay problema sa internet connection na na-encounter ko rin. Lack of comprehension, pagtaas ng percentage ng out-of-school youth, and decrease sa enrollees sa mga eskwelahan. And also, ang iba't ibang mental health issues na nararanasan ng hindi lamang ng mga estudyante, maging ang mga guro na rin po. No? Narinig natin na ang internet ay isa sa parang fastest way of communication and of course, disinformation. So, kaya katulad ng sinabi ni Sister Marisa noon, no, ang president sa CEAP, na kailangan nating maging mapanuri, mapagmatsyag at bumoto ng tama, di ba? At pipiliing magiging leader ng ating bansa. So, with that po, maraming salamat po sa mga sumama at nanood ngayong araw at nagbigay ng kanilang tanong at opinion sa mga napag-usapan. Gusto rin po nating pasalamatan ang PAC o Private Education Assistance Committee sa pagsuporta sa Kuwentuhang Halalan program na ito. Ayan, Miss Gracious.
Yan. Gusto ko din sinabi ni Miss Daniel na parang dapat i-alat natin kung saan yung energy natin. Huwag yung lahat pinapatulan, di ba? Kasi sobrang hate na ngayon. Dapat na lang tayo, peace, yung ganyan, di ba? So, yun. Yan. Thank you so much, Miss Nell.
Thank you so much po. Ayan.
At sa lahat ng ating mga guests na yung kwentuhang episode na to. Thank you, everyone.
Palalimin ang kamalayan sa mga isyong napapanahon. Makisangkot at makiisa kasama ang Simbahang Lingkod ng Bayan. Ang Socio-Political Apostolate ng Kapisanan ni Jesus. Ito ang Kuwentuhang Bayan mula alas 11 ng umaga tuwing Biyernes dito lang sa radyo-katipunan 87.9 FM. Dahil naniniwala kami na posible ang isang mas mabuting lipunan at maaari itong simulan sa isang kwentuhan. Radyo Katipunan. News, insights, inspiration. Radyo Katipunan. Down from the hill and down to the world. Radyo Katipunan, the voice of the Blue Eagle.
Magbati po mga Katipuneros, this is Cardinal Chito Tagle. Join me every week on the Word Exposed on Air, here on the voice of the Blue Eagle, Radio Katipunan 87.9 FM, the Ateneo Campus